Hiya folks, I managed to get a little bit of work done on that barbecue grill rocket oven. I'll give you a look. What I've managed to do is get the cassette put together. Oh, well, it's not all together, but I've done a lot of work on it today. I've welded it up and that. I'll give you a look, and obviously any comments will be welcome, suggestions. I had a bit of fun with welding on the corners, so I'm not a welder, I'm just a welder's mate. So guys, I managed to get some steel for this cassette. I've had to shop around for bits and pieces. I got the plates from one place that I got them last weekend. Sorry, beginning of this week. They didn't come last weekend. So, and the piece I was going to use for round edge, the U profile, I couldn't get any U profile, so I've got some box profile, and I'm going to have to play about with that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld up the frame for the cassette and see how we go with that, and I'll show you. But I'm going to try and explain this again. I know that last bit of a burn test weren't much of a burn test, but there you go. Where this concrete slab is, that's coming out, and that cassette that I'm going to build is going to go on top, sort of. So I'll be cooking on that. I'll be cooking on that surface, or I can put a pot on it or a pan on it. Now, the piece that I moulded is going there where that plant pot is, and that I can load up as a batch burner underneath. What's above that is the oven. I've obviously got to do something with inside of it, but what's above that will be oven. I've still got to get some pipe for it to for exhaust or chimney or flue, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm going to have a look for that, but as I said, I'm trying to get this cassette put together. Only problem I'm going to have, I asked about having holes cut in it for me in rounds, but they're going to just cost too much money, so I've got to cut the hole for the exhaust myself, so it might end up being more square than round. But we'll come to that bridge when we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You can see that all I've done is marked it with square at 45, scored it with a knife. Needs a new blade, but gives me a nice clean line. I'm cutting it with grinder. I was tempted to go with hacksaw, but I'll go with grinder and see if, as long as I can clean it up and make sure it gets a nice edge to weld to. Trusting my welder and I can work well together, as it's a really crappy stick welder.
What could go wrong?
You're marking it out, make sure you keep your orientation right. Cut it the wrong way there. But spotted it just as I did that one side, so I'm hoping I'll be able to close that up with a bit of weld or something. That's the basic bits for the frame cut. It's not very neat with the angle grinder. I'll just try and clean them ends up so they all fit together nicely. Because this is box section, I'm going to do, I'm definitely doing secondary air, but because this is box section and not C section, which I couldn't get, then I've had a different thought about it. On inside, I'm going to drill a row of, I don't know, 5mm holes on inside, and on outside I'll probably stick 2 or 3 bigger holes in, and I'll rig some up so I can open them and close them. Now, whether this will work or not, I don't know. I'm hoping it will, but it's all experimental, isn't it? So it should improve it if it's at the right end and the gases are at the right temperature. If it don't work, then I'll just block those back up and forget about it. Might just improve heat of the top of the box sort of thing. If we can get some flames coming at the sucking area and some flames coming out of the other side sort of thing. Well, that's me reckoning on that. We will see. So these are going to be holes up front for me. Secondary air. I'm going to drill 4. I'm going to pre-bore them with 5mm first. But the biggest drill I've got is a 13mm that goes into me drill. Now, so 13 times 4 is 52. So on the back, I'll put 10 or 11 5mm holes so that the airflow is constant. It's not like it's pointless. I'm trying to keep the actual amount of air, let's say, constant, if you know what I mean, coming in from what comes in front, it's got to go out front back. So that's a little bit inside. Oops. And that'll be outside. And hopefully I'll be able to close or open them and allow extra air in. That should burn out of these. And my corners. One's worse, one on this side. I'm not going to mess about though, I'm going to try it. As I said, with luck, my crappy welder will work. What I'll do, I'll clamp it down to this to play it and should keep it square, well, roughly, that's where I want it. And I'll just put some tacks on it first and see if I can do a weld that'll seal. If it doesn't, then I'll try and get something to seal it after. You can only do what you can do. So that's about that. Doing them ends were a nightmare. I kept burning holes in it, so I might have to find some flexible sealant, or even I'll put an angle on corner and stick it on with some flexible sealant. But I'm just working with this thing, like, it's not ideal. A MIG would be a lot better, but in the welding trade that's called pigeon shit welding. But there you go. I'm sure it will serve its purpose.
He's not really a welder, you know.
And that's what it'll sort of look like when it's put together. I've got to put an exhaust on it. It'd be nice if I could put a thin one that was slotted, if I can find something. Underside I'll obviously have the round one coming in, or a square, depends. As I say, I won't be able to cut round holes in this. This is 5mm, by the way, it's not 3. So I did get the better size. And what I did forget to get today was the rope, the stuff to seal it. And what I've got to do is drill some oversized holes just to put it together with a screw and a washer. I might just have to put a tap into actual frame underneath, and then that'll allow, as it expands and contracts, that'll allow some movement there, and hopefully it won't all buckle and twist. Hopefully it'll be hot enough to do the job, and that'll be my cooking surface.
Some people call me the space cowboy. Do 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 do.